There's been international condemnation of Russia after the two men suspected of carrying out the Salisbury nerve agent attack 3 years ago were implicated in a deadly explosion in the Czech Republic in 2014. The Foreign Secretary Dominic Raab says the revelation shows a disturbing pattern of behaviour by Moscow, while the White House has criticised what it says are subversive actions by the Russian state. Czech officials are now expelling 18 Russian diplomats, a move Moscow says is absurd, and in retaliation is now expelling 20 Czech diplomats. Here's our security correspondent, Correra.
The aftermath of a deadly explosion. In October 2014, this arms depot in the Czech countryside blew up. It took a month to find the remains of two men who worked there. It was widely assumed to have been an accident, until now. A key piece of evidence came when investigators found an email requesting permission for two men to inspect the site. Attached were scans of the men's passports, a copy of which the BBC has obtained. If you recognise them, this is why. They're the same two men wanted in connection with the Salisbury poisoning in the UK. In 2018, they were spotted on CCTV and accused of smearing nerve agent on the front door of Sergei Skripal's house. The two denied any involvement, saying they visited Salisbury to see the cathedral spire. The email with the passport scans claimed the men were from the National Guard of Tajikistan and gave false names. The pair arrived in Prague on October 11th, using the same names as in Salisbury. On October 13th, they went to stay on Ostrava, near the arms depot, and they left the country on October 16th, the day of the explosion. But why was the depot targeted? The BBC has been told that a Bulgarian arms dealer, Emilian Gebrev, stored weapons there. 6 months later in Bulgaria, members of the same unit of Russian military intelligence are believed to have tried to kill Gebrev. This CCTV shows an alleged member of the team moving around Gebrev's car. It's alleged poison was smeared on its door handle, leaving him fighting for his life, though he did survive.
And in that kind of struggle,
one expert says these incidents paint a picture of how this unit operates.
It actually seems to be military intelligence's kind of in-house team of miscellaneous throat slitters and general saboteurs. It's probably about 20 operational staff and maybe 200 support personnel.
The Czech Prime Minister has announced 18 Russian diplomats are being expelled. The issue will be discussed by EU foreign ministers tomorrow, while in London the Foreign Secretary said the UK stood by its Czech allies in exposing Russia's dangerous operations. Moscow says the allegations about its role in this explosion are unfounded and far-fetched. But investigations into the activities of Russian military intelligence are ongoing, and more cases may still be uncovered, raising the pressure on Moscow further. Correra, BBC News.
Well, our correspondent Sarah Rainsford is in Moscow for us tonight. Sarah, this then is the latest condemnation of Russia in recent days for malign actions.
Yeah, it's been quite a week for Russia's relations with the West. It's not just the Czechs who've been expelling Russian diplomats, the Americans and the Poles have done it too, and the US have imposed more sanctions against Russia this week too. All of it, of course, meant to change the way that the Kremlin is thinking. But Moscow has mirrored all of those moves and more, and the political mood here feels increasingly tense. There is still, of course, that Russian troop deployment to Ukraine's border, and the sense perhaps that Moscow is warning what it might do if pushed. And Russia is still insisting that it's the West that's aggressive, trying to impose its agenda here inside Russia. So there's been a real crackdown inside the country against Vladimir Putin's political opponents. Alexei Navalny, the key one, of course, is still in prison, and he's been on a hunger strike now for 19 days. His opponents are warning that his life is hanging by a thread. They've called a protest for Wednesday. That's shaping up to be a key day. President Vladimir Putin will make his State of the Nation address on Wednesday, and that could give us some indications of whether this downward spiral will continue.
Sarah, thank you. Sarah Rainsford there in Moscow.